Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2CTV with the first live update of the day. What's going on with the microphone? There we go. First live update of the day. We have a lot to talk about on this channel today in regards to the situation in Britain with British politics, the police, the government, and also around the world as well. Kamala Harris is telling Israel to surrender, and the illegal migrant who threatened Nigel Farage is apparently already in the United Kingdom. We're going to cover all that today, a number of live streams, but first things first, let's talk about what happened in Brighton in the south of England. Another example of two-tier policing. It's actually reached a whole new problem now because the police and the political establishment's position is that we maintain peace. We try to de-escalate. Now, using that as an excuse, what they say is if there is a protest and if there's one counter-protester also doing a protest but from a different perspective, if it provokes the other side, then we're going to defend the majority against the minority, against the one person, because if somebody gets offended, it's your fault. The problem with this, and we have a video example of what happened to this woman who's an anti-Islamist protester. She simply held the sign, as you can see in this image, that said Hamas a terrorist, which is true. It's also a legal position in the United Kingdom. But the police would say, if you are there with that sign, it would offend some people and provoke some people, and then, even though that makes no sense because it's already a legal position, then they say, well, that group could cause trouble and they could potentially even harm you, so they could do something illegal basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to save you from yourself. We're going to stop you from getting hurt by force, by hurting you. You see the problem with that logic, yeah? Instead of actually waiting, if I were in charge of the police and the establishment, I would say, we are gonna tackle crime. So if somebody, the whole point of protesting and counter-protesting is to annoy people and to get attention, to get attention to your cause, whatever you have, right? From all sides. And yes, protesting, counter-protesting would annoy people, but offense is taken, not given. It's subjective. So I would create a situation where I say, all right, you counter-protest there with a sign that says Hamas is terrorist, which is legal. If anybody tries to harm you or cause trouble, we'll start arresting them because they are the criminals. Instead of saying, yeah, so they could get angry and do something naughty, so we're going to arrest you instead. Let's go to this video. Before we start, just a quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe to 2CTV Plus, our independent platform. We have our new shows that are already up now. The Origins of Anti-Semitism is the latest one. Of course, recently also published the Rise of Globalism documentary and the Free Speech done by Stephen Barrett, British Constitution, Britain's Multiculturalism Myth, and the History of Conservatism. This is Ollie from JTV who joined 2CTV Plus to do the Origins of Anti-Semitism. Of course, Stephen Barrett, the barrister, did a Free Speech. Maya Tusi, I don't know who this guy is. He did Rise of Globalism, and of course David Moore as well on behalf of the conservative side. Let's go to this video. This is the moment that the anti-Islamist protester in Brighton was simply holding a sign saying Hamas a terrorist, fair, and the police were threatening her, saying that's very naughty, how dare you.
Watch my camera. But this march has nothing to do with Hamas. So I don't want that. You're going to cause a breach of the peace. Just a breach of the peace. Simple breach of the peace. There will be a statement box. No. I'm with you saying. Please just move away from the front. I am telling you that I have a real concern.
Do you have a section 14?
If you stand in front there with all these people, someone at some point will get hurt.
Layam Muhammad Yusuf Hussein, under 1 year old.
But I am concerned.
Layan Rami Anwar Faisal, under 1 year old.
Kind of build up and tension and altercation.
Lu'ay Mahmoud Saleh Al-Ajrami, under 1 year old. Maha Fadi Khaled Al-Baba,
So you need to do it away from
under
the front.
1
I'm not
year
having it in
old.
front.
Muhammad Fadi Khaled Al-Baba, under 1 year old.
Will you draw
Mahmoud
closer to
Yusuf
the rest of
Muhammad
your
Abu Shawish, under 1 year old. May Hatem Asad, May Hatem Asad Faisal, under 1 year old. Malik Abdul Rahman Ali Shawish,
You need to
under
separate
1
you from
year
this.
old.
It doesn't have to be a condition. I'm telling you now, I do not want to black the police.
Guys, you're going to need to step out of this cycle later.
I'm not breaching any peace. I am not breaching
If I perceive there to be a potential breach of
There
peace,
isn't
I
a
can't.
breach
Well, no,
of peace.
yeah, okay. If I think
You're
that may
making
happen,
assumptions that I am breaching the peace.
but you
I am
standing
not,
at the front of this march will cause a breach
with
of
a
peace. Yes,
UK
absolutely.
sign.
Doesn't matter.
It does
The problem
matter.
is, to me, that will cause tension between the group, and you or they, someone could get hurt.
No one's getting hurt.
That's fine. But a lot of people tell us that. You can stand over on the other side there, slightly. Stand over on the
Cannot
other
ask
side.
me to move somewhere.
I can
Under
keep
what
you away
legal
from this.
condition? Under what legal
I've explained it
condition?
several times.
There isn't a legal
I do not want anyone to
enforcement
come
in
to
place.
harm today.
I don't either.
Okay, so it's
if-
just about
if you
keeping the
just let me carry
separation.
on with my being silent.
Where do you want to go?
I want to just walk here.
Right, okay, so just
I want to walk
stay
here.
right away from the
I
mark.
want to walk here.
It's not very well.
Because I am a British citizen and it's a free country.
people are dead.
Step
It's a free
aside.
country. It's a free country.
I do tell you what to do, otherwise
No, you won't, mate. All right. You'll do it. Thank you very much.
If the other side would be better. So we compromise enough. So we need to be that side. Okay, then we'll have to do this. And I'm walking. I'm not doing anything. I'm just walking. Okay. So am I.
So you're causing obstruction. I need to walk with your.
I am. I'll just misunderstand. Yeah, I'm the. Yeah.
Reach the peaceful.
Oh, you're so sad, you know.
You could do what you want.
Really sad.
No, you're not compromising. I'm supporting you.
45,000 children dead, it's so sad.
Why provoking?
Okay, then it escalated from there. The next clip we're going to show you is when the police remove her, take her away. This is the problem. So the liberals and leftists across the world love this. They say, yes, the moral police, they are there to protect her. They are there to save her from all the bad things that could happen in the future because we can predict the future. So that's the line from the police saying, no, because your presence there could offend people. But we want to protect their feelings, but also we want to protect you because if they get angry, they could attack you. So your job is the police, right? Stop this futuristic prediction of crime. If the crime happens, arrest them. If somebody attacks the woman, arrest them. Not before anything else. She says, as a free citizen of this country, it's my responsibility. I'm standing here peacefully with my sign. If somebody attacks, then obviously they've committed a crime, you go and arrest them. Not beforehand. It's not a minority report. Now, one other thing. That random woman that came with kefir around her neck saying, how dare you hold this sign? About 45,000 people have lost their life. What sign? The sign that says Hamas are terrorists. So she's offended. How dare you criticize Hamas? People have died. They are literally Hamas supporters right now, and the police are not doing anything about that. But, the police want to protect the woman. They want to save her from herself. Let's go to the next clip because this is when it escalated, and then they decided to take her away.
Well done. Yes, well done. Yeah, that's it. That time you done a good job. Thank you. Well done.
You are winding them up, causing an issue.
Doing anything.
You are causing them harassment, alarm and distress with your banner in the middle of their
Get your
protest,
hands
alright?
off me.
What's that? Just chill out a minute, just relax, okay?
You
Just
don't
listen.
need to hold me
Just
so
listen.
hard. I'm standing
Okay.
here. I'm not
All
going
right.
anywhere. You
Yeah.
do not need
Boys,
to do that.
you can film. Just back up. You ain't coming this close to us, alright?
How much space do you need?
Back up.
How much space
Back
do you
up.
need?
Back up. You back up as well. Do not push. Just back up. Alright? We don't want cameras in our faces. Just back up. Alright?
You're providing a civil service.
At the moment, now, if you're going to be funny about that, we don't want to do that. Section 5.
Baba oradan gidelim mi? Hadi.
You are causing a problem. You know full well.
Oraya gidelim. Hadi.
What's that? Don't tell me how to do my job.
No, I'm
because
not
you haven't got a
telling
clue
you.
what you're talking. Alright?
I'm saying.
You have no idea. Alright? I'm not talking to you, mate. Alright? Question.
He's got a question.
Question.
Why do they get upset about that sign?
Why would you get upset about his sign?
No, we're not here to play games, alright? You were playing the game with this lot.
I'm here to
Yeah.
explain what you can.
You don't need to explain to me about the law and all about the law. Thank you very much, okay?
I'm saying, why would this sign of the UK law cause any...
Over there, we're just saying, hold off on the written. But okay, alright, yeah.
Can you explain to me how this
Your
sign...
side, you're deliberately taking it into this, which is essentially like a freedom of speech. That is the point of that.
I'm not sure how the UK law...
You're talking nonsense. You just keep saying the same thing over and
It's
over
the
again.
UK law.
Yes, I know all about the UK law. That's my job. Okay.
And that's our terrorists.
What's that? Nothing to do with that, okay? You were causing those harassment, alarm, and distress. Okay?
How?
You're causing a massive issue. Rather than do this from the green, like anyone else would do, you're trying to walk in between them to run them up on purpose.
How?
Okay?
I wasn't
That is the
actually walking in
end.
between
That's
them. I
the
was
end
walking
of the. That's the end of the discussion.
I was
All right.
walking ahead of them.
Okay.
It was when the other officers actually pushed me into the procession. I was never in the procession.
Yes, you were, because I've been with
I
you
was
since
in
the beginning.
in the
Joined the
beginning,
procession.
I was actually at the front.
Yeah. And you need to get out.
I
So
do
you
need
are
to get out.
causing a problem.
I do need to get out.
We're going to decide what we're going to do. One of those might be arrested.
That's right.
Section 5 of the public
But I'm not causing any
Yes, you did. You did. We've explained to you what we've done.
I have not done anything.
Causing
I silently.
harassment, alarm, and distress.
Why would her message cause harassment?
That's exactly what you're doing.
I'm not.
They're all talking to you. You're
I'm
winding
not
them up.
talking them. I'm not talking to them. They're talking to me. So,
Yes, because you're winding them up.
and how is this winding them up? Can you explain that to me?
What do you think?
Because it's the UK law. Why would the UK
Why do you keep saying
law?
about the UK? It's
why would the UK law? Why would the UK law cause anyone distress, harm, and whatever else you call it? Why would it? This is Hamas is terrorist. They are terrorists. That is the UK law. It's prescribed terrorist organisation.
Yes, but can you not see this is for their kids?
No, I don't get your point.
That's fine. You're out of it now.
Yeah, exactly. You have even said that it's a public space. I have the right to walk on the streets of Brighton.
Yes, you do, and I've told them that, but when you're intertwined with them,
I wasn't intertwined.
yes, you were.
with it.
I've walked with you.
And she's being blocked from the front. How is she meant to?
I was walking on the
Walking up the middle.
I wasn't in the middle of their procession.
Yes, you
If I was in the middle, I'd be in the middle. I wasn't in the middle. I was walking on the side of whatever they're doing. I was on the side of them. I was walking on the side of them.
done it to provoke.
I haven't done it to provoke.
Why else would you be doing
I was actually showing the UK law.
to provoke?
No, it's meant to explain
Tell
it to
me
people.
what other reason they would have to organise something like that.
For anyone that doesn't know it, I was just making sure that they're aware of it.
Yes, but you know these people wouldn't like it.
Why would they not like the UK law?
We're not talking about
Well, this is the UK law.
we're talking about Hamas and Israel.
Yeah, these are, you're not answering the question.
That's not a really good question.
Why would the UK law provoke that?
This is about you being in the middle of this causing an issue.
But you still
We're not interested in the ins and outs of this, of the geography of Israel and Palestine. I'm not interested. You as an individual are in the middle of this causing an issue. That's the problem.
I didn't dialogue with anyone. Dialogue with anyone. I didn't have a conversation with anyone.
12 years old.
Okay. I'm not going to talk to you anymore because this is
And he doesn't even want to talk anymore. So there's a few problems here. There's a lot of people in Europe who are authoritarian. There are a lot of people, I'm not talking about the police or politicians, people. There are a lot of people who support this. Yeah, she provoked, she offended. Yeah, that's not right. We need to save her because they would attack her. They were protecting her. No, that's authoritarianism. Stalin would have been proud of you. But the reality of the situation is, and she was being nice, saying, no, but I wasn't provoking, I was just standing there, right? Firstly, she wasn't in the march, she was in front of it. The police pushed her inside. Number one. Number two, let me be honest. Let me be clear with every single person watching this from this planet. In the West, in the United Kingdom, in so-called liberal democracies, provoking, offending is allowed, must be allowed. Because offense is taken, not given. You can, the whole point of protesting and counter-protesting is to provoke and to also raise awareness and to get attention. Annoying people is allowed. It's your job not to get annoyed. It's like people who go on YouTube live chat saying, that person is annoying me. Can we like get rid of that one? Can we get rid of that one? Ban this one from TV, like deplatform that one. I don't want to listen to that. It's your job. You don't want it. Don't listen to it. Don't read it. Don't watch it. Go away. Go see a therapist. It's not your job to tell other people how to live their lives. Yes, it's her job and it's my job, it's everyone's job to go in there and provoke and to offend. It's different to physically harming people. If our presence or a sign that is a legal sign that says Hamas are terrorists offends someone, the police must question that idiot. Why are you offended that Hamas are terrorists? If that person then attacks a woman, you arrest that person. That's when you protect the woman. It's straightforward. The other issue is the police officer was going around arrogant for the first few minutes. You don't know what you're talking about, lady. I know the UK law. And then at the end, he didn't actually know what he was talking about. Because when she was saying, this is the UK law, it's like, what do you mean it's the UK law? Hamas are terrorists. She had to remind him. And he was saying, but why are they offended? That's the question. Why are the people in the crowd offended that Hamas are terrorists? Maybe the police should think about that. But they don't really care. We've had counter-protesters from the Islamist side. When they come to the other rallies that we've done, the police don't do anything about that. They just stand there with the Palestinian flag, allowed. And I want them to be there. Do whatever you want to do. Free speech, free society. Annoy us, offend us, absolutely. Shout at our faces. But the police are fine with that, and they should be fine with that. But one person tried to provoke the other side, and yes, you should be allowed to provoke and offend the other side, any side. That's my point. The police say, well, in order to protect you, we're going to arrest you. Insanity. Ladies and gentlemen, insanity. Let's get some reaction. See, it says, please, British people, get some courage and learn from Israel how to defend yourselves instead of cowering as if your country is not yours anymore. We have also some stupid chats. I'll get to them in a second. Veronica says, multiculturalism was shoved down our throats. There is no such thing as, I don't know what the rest of the sentence is. Ian says, this country is effed. Seriously, thank the Labour voters for making it even worse. Coco Foco says, I think they did it to protect her. What sort of wishy-washy, mummy-daddy issue liberal nonsense is this comment? Protect her. It's her response. She took the responsibility. It's on me. I'm here. We are in England. We're not in Canada, we're not in Saudi Arabia, we're not in Israel, we're not in even Japan. There is a certain level of values and set of rules and traditions and customs that only applies to the British culture. And yes, the British Empire is spread around the world, but it's still different, especially in England, not even Scotland or Wales or Northern Ireland. We are different people here. The people who are from here, they have a set of rules, a set of mentality in terms of the worldview, in terms of what they can do, in terms of the fact that they can stand there on their own, responsible for their own actions, with a sign that says Hamas are terrorists. We don't need the police to protect us when we are holding the sign. If somebody attacks us, then it's the job of the police to investigate and arrest them once the crime is committed. We do not go around pre-arrest people. Well, we are now, apparently. This is the problem. But we shouldn't. We are not going around. We shouldn't go around saying, we're going to protect you in case something happens in the future. No, we do not do authoritarianism. We shouldn't do authoritarianism in this country. And we are falling into it. We are becoming like the European countries now. Britain is as bad as some of the European countries. And the whole point of Britain was to be different. Not anymore. Not anymore. Let's get some super chats as well. AFC Man UK says, can we get hundreds of those Hamas terrorist signs for the 26th? Yeah, imagine what the police would do then. Another one says, the same trajectory as Lebanon, Britanistan. Britanistan. Jamie says, I was arrested in Sheffield in March at a Hamas protest for calling Momo a PDF file. Naughty. Free speech. Apparently not anymore. From reading the Holy Scripture that I read out, I'm still on bail. I would love to talk about it when we meet again. Yes, absolutely, Jamie. Let me know. Crazy times. Nina says, hi, my love. Oh, my love. My bloody police are useless. One rule for British people, another for the idiots, and makes my blood boil. They surrender to the loud minority. That's usually how it works. We have a comment from Canada. Those people that took offense of that sign are Hamas terrorists. Exactly. They are their supporters. That's the whole point. We've seen them in Toronto, in New York, in Paris, in London. There's the same level of tendency in terms of the behavior. We know. The police should know. The police are completely clueless about it. The guy was an idiot who was like claiming, I know what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Then she had to clarify. She had to remind him of the actual UK law that, let's not forget, Ham Bottom are a terrorist organization. Yes, Ham Bottom. You heard that right. Next one. Sheila says, the police have failed to arrest those who are supporting a terrorist organization. I hope that a lawyer is watching this and will take her case up pro bono. The police are lying in public. That is very true. Be a Muslim, be a policeman, walk free, hold a sign, and you're causing problem. This is why field medalists are leaving Britain for China. China has same laws for all. They know who created. China does not have the same laws for all. China has literally legally categorized citizens and laws based on citizens and class as well. It's a completely messed up authoritarian government. I'm not political pro, yeah, but from what I can tell, the new left is the old right, and the new right is the old left. That's the formula. Hashtag maths. Relatively, not fully, but relatively in terms of where the power is and where the underdogs are. So the whole establishment in Canada, in the US, in France, in the UK, all these countries are captured by one side. Everything from not just political establishment, because you can change your governments, fine. Technically you can. But the civil service side, bureaucrats, schools, universities, the cultural institutions, entertainment industry, all now controlled by the left. So by default, the new right is the counterculture, so they are the underdogs. Back in the day, 200 years ago, by default, the status conservative side, that was their status quo. They were the establishment, the upper classes and everything else. and the left were the underdogs. Oh, we need a revolution, blah, blah, blah. And now they've done the revolution without actually having a direct revolution. They're now in power. They're still going around like idiots, protesting on the street saying, we need more power. You are in power. It's the same with the left in the US when Joe Biden became president, still protesting for the same causes that Joe Biden was already implementing in power. It's like Greta Thunberg going outside COP27, COP28, with all these the climate change conferences, protesting. They are literally in the building doing what you're telling them to do. It's all distraction anyway, because she's simply a puppet so that people think that there is still a movement needed for net zero, while they're actually doing net zero. Anthony from Australia says, follow the Queensland election. The tide, I hope, is turning. I hope so. I will check it out. Thank you, Anthony, for that. Yes, we need some good news coming from Australia. It's about time. Nina says, hang on, isn't the police that say a crime has to be committed before anything is done? This is a good point. Yep. So on the one hand, they are predicting a potential crime in the future. On the other hand, when a crime has actually happened, then they say, sometimes they actually say, oh, it's too late now. Literally, it's like when you know the story. A lot of you know the story of my Apple AirPods, when somebody stole it, and I could see on my phone exactly where it was because it was still on my. They find my phone thing, and I told the police I can see exactly which house it is. Can you just go knock on the door at least? At least just go pick it up. I don't care if you're going to arrest them or not. They're like, no, it's too late. And we can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? You need a warrant? It's complete insanity. It's like Keir Starmer, the new so-called Prime Minister in Britain. During the lockdown, the man who went around get Sue Gray as a civil servant and the media, the BBC and the police to go and destroy Boris Johnson for standing next to a birthday cake for 10 minutes in his own office. Keir Starmer, Angela Rayner, the rest of the Labour leadership were up north, I think it was in Durham, having curry, having beer during lockdown. When the pictures were exposed with evidence that they've broken the lockdown rules themselves, the police said, well, this is the historic matter. Well, like 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it's too late now. It's already done. We can't really, we can't investigate that. You see the issue, right? Apparently that's normal. Just don't question it, guys. Don't question it. Why had everyone stopped talking of the aisles that we lost? Stopped? Which aisles are we talking? Are we still... The thing is, the handover hasn't been completed yet, so there's going to be more chaos there. Apparently there are some people who are challenging when it comes to Chagos Islands, unless you're not talking about Chagos Islands, because everyone's waiting for the next update to see what happens. But the overall point is, the Chagos Islands, the same example is when Gordon Brown, the former Prime Minister, about 15 years ago, sold the British gold. Some of you are already familiar with that story. He sold the gold reserves of this country, just sold it off, right? People stop talking about it. People just move on. People surrender. Every time something small happens, some small betrayal, some small authoritarianism, some small tyranny, like when in Wales they banned books and toys for kids during the lockdown because apparently if you read a book then you get virus, or if you play with your toys, right? People say, oh, it's just a small one, and it will go away. Then it just builds up. It's the same with, for example, sugar tax. Oh yeah, because I have prejudice because my neighbor is fat. People say, I support sugar tax. Yeah, fat people. And then next morning, politicians will come up with a new idea. Slippery slope. One day they do something that you like. Next day they're going to come for you. Then the people who you were attacking are no longer going to support you. Everybody will be on their own. That's why nobody... basically, the masses are not talking about even the Chagos Islands anymore. The cops showed that they sold out when they started speaking in a different language in Britain. There's only one way this ends. The end of Britain. If they got arrested for speaking a fact, WTF is that police doing? There's no point in questioning it anymore. Just wait for the fall at this point. No, don't wait. You have to fight back. But it's just depressing for a lot of people. Tracy says that they never moved the Muslim woman holding a flag at the Jewish protest. As I said, exactly. Tracy's right. Perfect example. And I don't want her to be removed either. That's my point. Let people do whatever they want to do. Let people offend the other people. You should be allowed to offend other people. You should be allowed to provoke other people. It's not right for the other people who get offended to then commit a crime. If they then start beating up the woman, then you arrest them. That's your job as the police. You're not the UN. You're not there to de-escalate. Stop this nonsensical maintaining the peace. I want the British police to actually tackle crime rather than a potential futuristic crime. Sandra says, I like how the police officer gets into her personal space and she does not back down. 1 million, yes, I know. I love how that's normal for the police to just go right to your face. It's like in France or Germany. Because the police here in the UK, you got half of it. Half of the policing is so weak and feeble and vanilla. And then they get so authoritarian for the wrong people. Extremely violent. Like, that makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. Sweet Freedom says that if you show up alone with that sign, you are not asking for protection. True. You know the score. Should tell the cops to buzz off. Exactly. Spot on, Sweet Freedom. If they remove one protester to prevent violence, the majority of protesters there have lost any argument they had. Let's get back to super chats. Fat Cat says, Cats for Israel. I support that movement. Cats for Israel. Coco Foco says, you are the last person I thought will yell at me for saying my opinion of trying to see the good in people. I might be naive, but it was uncalled for. See, I mean, people say things, people express opinions. Being offended is subjective. It's taken. Offense is not given. Saying that was uncalled for, it means that you're already offended again. That's when somebody says something that could be challenged. That's the whole point of it. We don't do that in the United Kingdom. If they do that in Israel or in South Africa, that's a different point. We do not do that in England. We should not do that in England. The police is not there to protect her from a potential future crime. If somebody attacks her, then it's the job of the police to arrest them. There is no see the good in people when it comes to the police in this country. If you come to the United Kingdom, you see the police, and I'm saying this because I got friends who are police officers who agree with me. Good police officers agree that the leadership, the command, and the whole direction of policing is corrupt and is nonsensical. There are good police officers who are struggling to work as police officers right now because they say there is no good in people when it comes to the police leadership. They can't speak out. Some of them have. Some of them are now ex-police officers. But we do not do that here. It should be straightforward. Someone commits a crime, you go and arrest them. If a woman is there, simply holding a sign saying Hamas are terrorists, she's there, her choice, her freedom. This is England. She stands there, taking responsibility. It's not the job of the police to go and say, you might offend other people, actual terrorists, so we're going to arrest you. That's just complete nonsensical. If she was going around inciting violence, I get it, absolutely. But that's not what she was doing. She was saying terrorism is bad. Don't do terrorism. It's not rocket science. England is the land of the free, or was. Not anymore. Sheila says, come on everyone, hit the like button. Thank you, Sheila, for the support. This thing is getting frustrating every single day. It's not really a surprise anymore, the way the police are becoming the authoritarian wing of the political government establishment and the government. But they are now using all the other areas. The media is a propaganda wing of the government, and we've got the cultural institutions that's the complete brainwashing platform for the establishment. We have schools and cultural institutions brainwashing kids. And that's fine. That's okay. You're not allowed to get offended. No. If you get offended because we have a tyrannical socialist nutters in power, then you'll be arrested. But if other people get offended for you opposing that, you're still going to get arrested, not them. Double standards. It's no longer 2-tier. It's multiple tiers. And there are so many tiers that they don't even know what tier is what. I can assure you, the police officers, like the one we just showed you, he didn't even know. He was like, I know the law, I know that. And then towards the end, I was like, what do you mean this is UK law? She had to explain it to him. Got a bunch of idiots in power. Absolute idiots. I personally think we should all email the UK Israeli embassy as the British natives, encouraging them to take legal action against the BBC. That would be good, but to be fair, it wouldn't be the job of the Israeli embassy, but yes, somebody needs to. Let's not forget, actually, there has to be a mechanism, because Israel and the Israeli ambassador in the UK, there's been a lot of slander and libel against it, basic defamation. The BBC, on a daily basis, and Sky News, and the whole establishment, are literally doing defamation against Israel. The Israeli ambassador should do something. Speak up for your country. Because if you do that, then there will be a bit of a hope for the rest of us as well. But it's not going to happen, obviously. That's not how the world order works. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We have a lot to talk about today. Don't forget to join 2C TV Plus if you want to get access to our premium shows and documentaries. 2ctvplus.tv. We have the new show, The Origins of Anti-Semitism, as well as The Rise of Globalism and Free Speech. And of course, we got the previous shows as well, British Constitution, History of Conservatism, and everything else. Check out the link in the description. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.